if we don't allow Scripture to just speak for itself, if we don't allow that, we will end up believing things about God that God never actually said. And that can be really dangerous, friends. And this is exactly why we're doing this series. Those examples from this week alone, how we can take the text and Scripture and want to apply it. So this series, that's not in the Bible, it's about this. And today we're starting with a phrase that I think is one of the most used of all. And it's this: God won't give you more than you can handle. God won't give you more than you can handle. And some of you are going, hang on, I thought that was in the Bible. That's not in the Bible. It's definitely the kind of thing that someone who is very well-meaning and they're not trying to deceive you or take you down a wrong path, but it's the kind of thing that someone says when your life's falling apart, right? God, don't worry, God won't give you more than you can handle. Maybe you lose a job or your relationship ends, you get bad news from the doctor, right? Your anxiety is to the roof, and someone leans in with the best of intentions and say, listen, I know this is tough right now, but just remember, God won't give you more than you can handle. And you're kind of thinking, I appreciate that, but I absolutely cannot handle this. Right? And how many times have you thought that, but if you utter it, you think, well, I must not have faith. I must be lacking in my faith. I must be lacking in what I understand about who God is if I'm saying I can't handle this. Have you ever felt that? Right? If this is supposed to be my handling capacity, something is broken within me because I've maxed it out already. Interestingly, the phrase, God won't give you more than you can handle, it's nowhere in the Bible. It's not even like a misunderstanding. It's not in there. It actually, and not only that, but it contradicts what we see in other passages of Scripture. Let's look at something that the Apostle Paul said in 2 Corinthians 1, verses 8 and 9. He says this: we think you ought to know, dear brothers and sisters, about the trouble we went through in the province of Asia. We were crushed and overwhelmed beyond our ability to endure. And we thought we would never live through it. In fact, we expected to die. But as a result, we stopped relying on ourselves and we learned to rely on God who raises the dead. So Paul says here, we were crushed and overwhelmed beyond our ability to endure. In fact, we expected to die. Paul is not a guy in this circumstance. He's not having a case of, what do they call it? The Sunday scaries, when you start stressing about the coming week, right? Y'all, Sunday scaries, people? Yeah. So when you start worrying about that, this is not what he's dealing with. This is a follower of Jesus who's saying, I absolutely had more than I could handle, expecting death.